Propaganda I'm not falling for, supporting women even when they're in the wrong just because they're a woman and calling it being a girl's girl. No, that's called enabling. And you're weird.
I like this one.
I used to say silly things like, where are all the good men at? Until I started taking accountability. Now I know I'm just an ain't shit ass bitch. Maybe I am the problem. Maybe I am the problem. Maybe I am the problem.
Allegations ruin a man's life. Name one. Name one man whose life has been ruined by sexual assault allegation.
Gotcha, bitch.
You stupid.
Oh man, here come all the bipolar, emotionally unstable women coming in my comments because of my previous post. I said what I said. Women are some of the biggest hypocrites.
YouTube, is your boy Rome, back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, I hope you subscribe. So I got a video for you guys of a woman who was calling out the hypocrisy of women, especially when recent events is like the DDG situation and the Deontay Kyle conversation. And I think she glossed over both of the situations and conversations. I'm not sure if she did, but I want to play the video that apparently people got in their feelings before first, and then I'm going to play the rest of the video that y'all saw in the intro, so that way y'all can get a bit more perspective of exactly what was said and why she got women triggered. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
This whole DDG and Halle situation just shows how big of hypocrites some women are. The girl was in the messages saying she was going to kill herself because he cheated on her. She told him she would abort the baby if they didn't get back together. She was using emotional manipulation to keep her relationship. But I see a bunch of women in the comments supporting her, making excuses for her. But had the shoe been on the other foot, if that was DDG doing all that, then y'all would have been dogging him out. Y'all are hypocrites. Women are some of the biggest hypocrites. Postpartum, it make you sad, but it don't make you do all that. I've been cheated on. Who hasn't? But I've never, not once, thought about killing myself because a nigga was cheating on me. Y'all make excuses for it, and y'all praise and congratulate the most toxic and degenerate behavior, and I just will never understand it.
A few moments later.
Oh man, here come all the bipolar, emotionally unstable women coming in my comments because of my previous post. I said what I said. Women are some of the biggest hypocrites. For example, there was a guy not too long ago on social media. He got custody of his 3 kids, right? And he posted a video online of him asking his baby mama for help. And she was like, no, you took me to court, you got them, so you handle them. All the women in the comments was like, that's right, girl, F them kids, live your life.
Fuck them kids. Fuck the kids? Yeah.
Not one of them was calling her a deadbeat. Not one of them was calling her names. They was telling her to go live her life. See, y'all are the ones that God had to unalive in that flood back in the day. Y'all are not conducive to the progression of this society. Y'all was reprobate back then, and y'all are still reprobate today. The difference is, he gonna use fire instead of flood this time.
Yeah, that last example was wild. Because if the tables was turned, yeah, ain't no way in hell a man would have not been called a deadbeat. But I don't want to say I can relate to this, but I do kind of have a story, because this is something that I wish I would have known, because I actually, matter of fact, the last serious relationship I was in the West, I've kind of told this story before. I was with a woman who had kids, but she didn't have custody of them. And this woman had like 4 or 5 kids, but if you saw what she looked like, you'll understand why. Yeah, she was bad. But I was still pretty naive about women. I didn't like stop to think like if I knew then what I knew now, I would have been questioning like, hold on, how the hell you got that many damn kids and you don't got custody of any of them? That's sus. Because women are like very territorial when it comes to children. This is one of the reasons why you'll always hear them say my child instead of our child. Yeah, they ain't like that. But can the ladies argue on that one? No, they can't. Yeah, so if you ever find yourself in that situation, which I imagine most people that watch me probably won't because y'all don't want to date single mothers. However, if you are open to it and she doesn't have custody of her children or never had custody of her children, please question it. Please vet her. Because 9 times out of 10, if she doesn't have custody of her kids, it's because she did something in her past that made that happen. Because we know how the courts favor women. So whenever you see a woman has kids and doesn't have custody, 9 times out of 10, that's a red flag. I'm speaking from experience. But let's keep it moving.
1 minute is not enough men are approaching us. The next minute is too many men are approaching us. If you don't want men to approach you, don't go to the clubs where the men are. Go to the woods where the bears are.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good. You serious?
This is what cracks me up when I see videos like this. This is what cracks me up the most. Because I'm like, how do y'all say this stuff, but you come on social media spewing the complete opposite about what y'all are saying that y'all are getting in your reality? So y'all come on social media spewing negativity against men, and then when you get out in the world with men, you expect men to still want to come up to you and talk to y'all? And y'all would probably be like, it's not all of us that are like that. It's the same shit that y'all be doing to men. So now men is looking at all of y'all as in, I'm just not gonna fuck with it because some of y'all on the internet just ruined it for all of y'all. I really just wish some of the times y'all would really think about what would happen when you do some of these damaging things to yourself.
Deontay Kyle, where the fuck you at? Yeah, somebody clip that and send that to his ass since he think he's so fucking righteous. Cause it was women coming on here caping for him just because he told y'all what y'all wanted to hear. Only for y'all to turn around and continuously make videos like that and this one here and coming up next. Now, all the people that had a problem with men disagreeing with what Deontay Kyle said, explain this. Explain those last 2 videos. Explain to me how in the hell y'all can sit over here and try to use this negative narrative, or excuse me, should I say push this negative narrative, when all y'all do is constantly post videos like this. Y'all constantly post videos of complaining about not getting approached anymore. Which one is it? Please. Y'all gotta explain this. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. I understand women are led with their emotions, but at some point, you have to get out of your emotional bubble and start thinking logically. Because now y'all are getting exactly what y'all asked for and y'all don't fucking like it. See, this is what happens when you try to overcorrect shit. And that's the problem in the West now. Everything is so overcorrected on men's side and no accountability on women's side that these are the kind of outcomes that you got. But because women weaponize victimhood, they got to keep that narrative pushed. Otherwise, they ain't got nothing to bitch and complain about or fight about anymore. But we constantly keep seeing videos like this. I'm sick of the hypocrisy, bro. Women need to grow the fuck up and be like, yo, it ain't this, is that, or it ain't that, is this. Now, 2 things can be right at the same time, But I see far too many videos of women complaining about not getting approached in comparison about getting harassed. Bullshit, man.
Alright, y'all, so I'm gonna take a different route at this. I'm gonna say R.I.P. Joe Briggs. I think that's his name. Sorry that you had to be one of those stand-up dudes that the ladies are looking for and ended up losing your life for it. If y'all don't know the story of Joe Briggs, one night, I think they said it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, just to give a reference of the person, he's a jiu-jitsu fighter or some type of martial arts fighter, so you know he has that I'm a man before anything, I have that stand-up man type of attitude, you feel me? At least I would say. Because normally, if you're doing any type of fighting, that builds character. And if you're with me, put something in the comments. So with that being said, yeah, he was one night walking home doing this thing. He see three dudes assaulting a woman. He stepped in, and one of the dudes had something on him that he couldn't come back from. Hence why I said R.I.P. Joe Briggs. Now, how does accountability look to men? I would say it looks just like that. It's like that's what holding men accountable looks like. Not to say that it's right and or wrong, because at the end of the day, he tried to do something right. But sometimes we never know what's in these situations. We don't. And God beget if we sit there and ask more questions. Yes, y'all want us to be just like this in the moment, but sometimes in the moment could end up like this. And I'm sorry to that man and his family, real talk. I probably would have did the same thing, because it's like, it's late night and 3 men on the chick. Yeah, at that point, I personally wouldn't care what she did. Y'all gonna have to, and they did. I'm sorry to you, bro, real talk.
And no matter how many stories come out or that are told about men putting their life on the line for women that are complete strangers to them, women are still gonna buck for this shit, bro. It ain't gonna change. It's really not gonna change. I remember saying this, I can't remember which video it was, but I was like, dude, how many stories do we gotta hear like that before women start taking some accountability, or at least trying to be preventive of getting into certain situations, man? This is one of the main problems with this conversation and this topic, and I've gone over this before. Women want men to be reactive with their protection, not proactive. That's why when you try to give them advice and say, hey, maybe you shouldn't go here, or maybe you shouldn't dress like that going there, and then, don't tell me what to do, and say less. And then when y'all get into that very situation that those men try to tell you to avoid, now y'all want them to come and save you. And then you hear stories like this. I'm like, y'all might feel away for about a day or two, but then y'all gonna forget about them and keep living your life, and you're gonna expect the next man to do the same damn thing. No.
Black men, start recording her. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care if they call you sassy. I don't care if they call you bitchy. I don't care if they say you acting like a woman. When that bitch start acting out, start recording her. When she starts turning up, the moment she raises her voice, secretly put your phone on record, okay? Because there is a lot of women, all right? And they don't want to talk about it, but I'll say it because I know I ain't scared. There's a lot of women who will use your background against you. There's a lot of women who will cry victim. There's a lot of women who will pretend to be a victim and will call the police on you and set you up and have you arrested. And y'all already know this. And we already know this. We know what's going on. Stop setting yourself up because you want to be so masculine and manly, and you just over here getting bullied and beat up by a bitch. Stop. Get these girls arrested. Start having them arrested. Have them locked up. The same exact way they're trying to have you locked up. Have them locked up. Because there's a special place in hell for females who call the police on men and lie because they're not getting their way. And what we're not going to do is sit here and pretend like it's not happening a lot. You literally got grown women who will cut the fool and create scenarios in their head and call the police and play victim, especially if you have a criminal record. You have women who will literally seek out men with criminal records because they know they can use it against him if he goes against whatever it is that she wants him to do for her. Start recording these bitches when they doing stuff like this. Start recording them. Stop setting yourself up. Stop. Just stop. Because a lot of these women are abusers as well. A lot of these women on here talking about get black men arrested for get black women arrested for domestic violence as well. Have these hoes locked up.
I know. Thank God for camera phones nowadays, right? Because I know the most recent story like this where recording saved his life was Xavier Worthy. Because, you know, he could have been added to that list that was in the intro earlier, along with Jonathan Majors, Johnny Depp. He should be on that list, but because he recorded everything, they ended up dropping the charges on him. Now, here's another thing that needs to change. Women need to start getting arrested for making false claims. False allegations need to be arrested for that. Because I guarantee you, if y'all started arresting these women for making false claims, amongst other things that they lie about, you'd be surprised how much that shit shut down. You'd be surprised. Because a lot of them do this, it's just emotional manipulation, just like the same situation with DDG, to try to force men to do what they want them to do. I'm like, I tell you, man. Ooh, man, there's some evil women out here, bro.
So I think that we're all very, very well aware that a lot of modern women struggle with holding themselves accountable when it comes to having relationships with men, right? I think that we all kind of know that. But what a lot of modern women will do to lack accountability in their relationship is they'll do something called reverse psychology. And men, you definitely want to be careful of this, because what you'll realize is that you brought an issue to her that you feel as though is toxic or something that is not benefiting the relationship that you want her to then change. And then what she will do is she'll deflect and start bringing up all the stuff that you did in the relationship that was not right to her, right? And then she'll kind of paint this picture of like, you are actually worse than I am, right? So we then start comparing. And so then a lot of men actually fall into this toxic cycle. And what winds up happening is they then start feeling guilty, like, damn, like, I shouldn't even have brought this up because I done did A, B, and C to cause a lot of the issues in a relationship as well, too. Please do not fall victim to this, men. Literally, there are men who have been in relationships that are toxic for years because they allowed women to deflect and point the finger back at them. Women are supposed to be corrected, obviously, in a respectful manner. And any relationship needs to have reciprocation where both people are working on making it better.
When we have a society full of women with no accountability, guess what? It just repeats the cycle. And then the daughters grow up the same exact way. We're teaching our daughters how to be queens instead of being wives. Teaching young men to be gentlemen, to be providers, to pay for everything, to open the doors. Meanwhile, we're telling our daughters, know your worth and never settle. So one side's learning selflessness, the other side's learning self-prioritization. But unfortunately, little girls are taught what do they deserve versus what do they also bring to the relationship. And I'm raising a protector and a provider, and the last thing I want is my son to end up with your dusty daughter thinking that being submissive to a good man is oppression. Last I checked, equality doesn't mean that women get to wear the crown while men get to carry the cross.
That woman is 100% right. Now, I will say this, women have progressed when it comes to being more accomplished, making more money and all that. But when it comes to everything else, complete opposite. Definitely the complete opposite. And history has shown that. But y'all let me know what you think, man. If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. OGs, I appreciate the love and support. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification. That way y'all know when I'm uploading. Hit the like button because that's what the algorithm and helps me reach a broader audience. Also look out for the travel vlog channel as well as the live show channel. Both links are in the description. Until the next video, y'all. Deuces.
you.